It's literally all this piece of hair. Look at. I just, I don't know what the problem is. I'm having a dilemma. Okay. I'm having a huge dilemma. I thought it was gonna be much cooler than it was. I'm first. Congrats. Okay. Let me get all situated. I don't know what the problem is. Like I said, maybe I need more. Okay. Ooh, maybe I just need more hair. I'm watching a K-pop live stream for a comeback. Ooh, which one? Who? Whose is it? Something looks wrong. Something is wrong about this setup and I can't tell what it is. Is it this? Do I need to put this like kind of more this way? Hold on. Let me... Something is wrong. What is it? Okay. Hey, hi. Maybe I do this and then I do this. Is that my problem? JYP Girl Group, the original called... Oh, and they're doing a comeback right now. Hello, hi. Their debut is today. Oh, I see. Guess what? What happened? Maybe I put this in front. I tried to do something with my hair and I don't think it's working out. So I'm a little just insecure. I started a YouTube channel. Didn't you say that yesterday? I think you mentioned yesterday that you started a YouTube channel. It's gonna be for edits and stuff. Oh, wait. I've solved a problem, maybe? I also got broken up with. Oh, heck no. Well, lucky for you, today hold on, I'm trying to fix my... Today we're discussing relationships, so you can vent to us all you want and we'll tell you that they're in the wrong and you are not. I'm just kidding. Maybe the angle's too far. Like this. Their debut is... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did I? Can't remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you mentioned yesterday you started a YouTube channel. And I was like, that's a great idea because you said you're not doing like content with like you in it. It's just all edits. And I was like, that's a great idea. Now, what do you mean? What are you talking about? My hair. Something's wrong with my hair. Or is it the lighting? I don't know. Maybe I get rid of this. Maybe I go... Nope. Put that back up here. Okay. And then I do... Oh, then I get rid of this. Oh, that's not working. That's not working at all. Surfing face. Not true, but I appreciate your confidence in me, but thank you so much. It's the lighting. It's gotta be. It's like for sure the lighting. My lighting situation is gonna be weird for a while, actually. Hopefully it's actually fixed tomorrow. Because I think I mentioned this last time, but I got a new PC, like a computer, but my Wi-Fi is like, it's like not connecting to my Wi-Fi, so I had to get something to like plug into my room so that I can get Wi-Fi, but it's arriving tomorrow. So hopefully it comes in tomorrow, and then hopefully tomorrow I'm able to set up my PC finally. I saw that click so fast. I love your bangs. Thanks. I don't have any relationship problems. My boyfriend and me are still in love. I love that for you. I actually really love that for you. I love when people are just in happy and healthy relationships. Like that's really what we all want at the end of the day too, right? My freaking... I think it's my bangs. Something's wrong with my look. Anyways, I've been single my whole life. What could I possibly add? To be fair, me too. Me too, low key. Is this something's wrong. Something's really wrong and I can't figure it out. It's gonna be, you're so pretty, thank you. My girlfriend broke up with me because she didn't like that I was now trans, but then she also said that she wanted a real man. Basically, I'm not girl enough, but not man enough either. You know what? But that, I think that kind of problem, this is something I think I've really been telling other people, and I don't know if it's something, I guess it's just something I've also been telling myself, so I'm like telling other people in case they, you know, need to hear it as well. That a lot of times when people, like when you're saying something to somebody or some, you know, anything, and they respond in such a negative way, that's not really a reflection of you, that's a reflection of them. So in that instance, it's like, it's really not your problem, right? It's just, it's your past relationship, your past partner's problem. And one thing we have to get used to is not need, how do I want to word this? We don't need to fix things about people. That's not our job. Our job is not to fix other people and their problems. So if they have issues and all this stuff, that's a them thing. And if they don't want to fix it, that's not your issue either. You can find somebody who either doesn't have that issue or is willing to work on that themselves. So I mean, it's sad. I do think it's sad, but like if that's how she feels and is not willing to compromise or anything or like learn from it, that's her problem, not you. My bias and it's Kendall. Oh, you know what? I don't know anything about Vicha or Girl Said. Yeah, my crush sits in front of me in class. Have you ever talked to him? Have you ever talked to them? If they sit that close to you? I try to enjoy Girl Said even though they're not Vicha. I guess it's not really fair. I think it's not fair of anyone, but I understand where people are coming from. That a lot of people have mentioned that they don't want to support Girl Said because they used to be Vicha, and then Vicha went through this like incredibly crazy scandal and stuff. Well, not scandal, just problems and issues. And people don't want to support the group because they would be supporting the company who, you know, did all this stuff to the group. Well, you know, just wasn't nice to them. And so I understand it from that aspect. Obviously, who wants to support a company like that? But at the same time, that's also not the group's fault. Like they're just like they just work there. They don't really control anything or have any say in what goes on in the higher up management. So I don't think it's fair to take it out on the group. But I do understand the logic of like not wanting to support the group because then you would be supporting the company. And you don't want to do that. So like I'm not really sure where I stand on that either. I know I don't know enough about the group. So when they left, I was praying they wouldn't disband. That's true. It's sad because we've been together for 4 whole years and she just dropped me like nothing. That is really sad. I do think that as like devastating as that is, I do think it's also like a very big eye opener because it's like you started moving into like an era of being like yourself, like authentically yourself, and just living like your truest form, right? And it says a lot about the people in your circle when they don't support those choices. And as much as it hurts, it's definitely like it's such like a betrayal kind of feeling, but it's important to look at, you know, like did I need somebody in my life like that anyways if they can't support me when I'm doing things that are best for me? So I would think about it in that aspect because I had the same issue happen with with a friend I had. She was actually like one of my bestest friends. We were friends for like 10 plus years, and I considered her a very, very close friend of mine. And I was suddenly in a position, it was actually really crazy. Like, it just kind of came out of nowhere, but it put me in like a really, really like, in vague terms, it's like I went from like here to like up here really fast. And um it kind of correlated with, it was like something that, I'm trying not to go into too much detail, but this opportunity that I suddenly had was something that she had always wanted, maybe just in a different form. But she like, this was like one of her like I big goals and dreams, and suddenly I had it, unbeknownst to me. And instead of being, like, it hurt me the most because she was like my bestest friend ever. And instead of being able to like support me in these, in this new endeavor and stuff, she kind of took it personally, and started treating me like differently. Basically, she was just jealous. She didn't like that I was in this position and that she wasn't. And so she started treating me just really, really horribly. And it was super sad because I'm like, this is supposed to be my best friend. And like all of a sudden she's just like not treating me right. Like, this sucks. And I took it really hard. But then it made me think about like, well, if she couldn't support me in even just like an area like that, like how could I trust her to support me in other like future opportunities that are maybe even more grand than this one? And so I think that helped me really move on. That helped me move on from the fact that I just felt like she had just stabbed me in the back, and then I just wanted to like, you know. Okay, sorry, I'm missing all the comments. I'm just yapping, that's all. Okay. I'm low-key talking to someone right now long distance, and I do really like her, but I'm also at the point where I think it's all useless and I'm better off alone because she deserves better than me. Okay. I have thoughts and opinions on this too. I think when it comes to relationships as well, I know it's easy to think that um we are not enough for maybe just somebody else in general, but specifically in that case, like we like somebody and we start to think they're like, but we're like, but why would they like somebody like me? Like, what do I have to offer that like somebody else can't? And I think that I understand the logic because I think like that all the time too. But I think we also need to work on that thought process as well. Um, because it's self-sabotage. And like if we're sabotaging ourselves, especially when it comes to relationships and stuff, of things that we really want to do, that's not good. So like I totally understand, but I do think um maybe instead of like just putting so much pressure on yourself, just think about the possibilities of what could happen in this relationship. Like, you know, just try to imagine, like, just think about, like, maybe what if I was good enough for this person, and then go from there, even if you don't believe it. His favorite K-pop group, want us, want us. KJ is getting mistreated. Yeah. That's so true. I was first to join, but I quickly read the title of the live and saw horror stories, and I instantly clicked. You always seem to. Well, I'm talking about relationship horror stories. Does anyone have like relationship horror stories, or like horror stories with like a crush that they've had? Oh my god, I have one. I have one, and I can tell. I can totally share. Oh my gosh, hold on. But horror stories in that aspect. Thanks. Goes and grabs papers and pen. Hello. Well, okay. A lot of the advice I give is just things that I've thought about myself, because these are also things that I've experienced and things that I've had to learn from as well. And so I'm like, if I can just save someone like like the hard part of it, and like just be able to offer some encouraging words and stuff, like that's good too. Oh yeah, BTS. BTS, woo, yeah. Sorry, I keep trying to yawn. I'm not gonna yawn. I found it online randomly. Yeah, BTS is gonna have a comeback and a tour next year. It's so true. Me watching you live, listening to Always an Angel. No, no. I really did pray BTS wouldn't tour because I know I can't. I know it's gonna be so hard to get tickets. I already know. You can't say one thing and then change it to something else just so that I would read your things. Because now I'm just not going to, so. I'm so used to self-sabotage. It's a mixture of that and not having a will to live. Okay. I think I just feel guilty bringing to the plate. I mean, that's valid though, because like we do that. Like I hate to say, I think we're just ingrained with that. Naturally, that we are the hardest on ourselves. But that also comes from the fact that it's actually one of my favorite things to think about all the time. That we have to live with ourselves 24/7 and no one else does. So like obviously we notice all of the good things about ourselves. Well, maybe not all the good things. But we do notice all of the bad things about ourselves. And sometimes we hyperanalyze like those bad things about ourselves because like, you know, we exist with ourselves all the time. Sorry. And but like 85% of the time, like most people are not looking at those things that we think people are looking at. And it, sorry. Okay, what was I saying? It's easy for us to self-sabotage ourselves, basically. Oh god, you got timed out. That sucks. What was I going on about? Sorry, he was like, it wasn't bothering me, I just thought it was funny. I think it's so incredibly funny when people have like things to say, like things to say, but they're like saying it online. It's like, I don't know how you think anyone's taking you seriously. You're behind a screen. Like, I don't know. I had this whole conversation, I think, in one of my streams one time where somebody was saying a bunch of crazy things in my chat. And I was like, and so I asked, I was like, these are crazy things you're saying. Would you say these to me if you saw me in person? Like, you saw me walking in the street and you started thinking all these things. Would you come up to me and say all these things? And that person was like, well, no. And I was like, oh, point proven then. You're only saying it because you're behind a screen. And I feel like that decreases your credibility or anything. My need to take you seriously. It like tones it down to like a 1 out of 10. Like it's just laughable at that point. Okay? If you can't say any of this stuff to people in person, not to say you shouldn't say it online because like you're gonna say it anyways, but it just makes it funnier when you're saying it online, knowing you cannot say that to people in real life because you just won't. If you can say it to like people in real life though, maybe I'll respect it. I'll be like, okay, you called somebody that earlier today. Like you saw someone on the street, thought they were ugly and said, hey, you're ugly. I'll be like, okay, because at least you can back it up with your actions. But saying it online and then not saying it in person, it's just funny. So funny. I liked a guy in middle school and we were best friends for 11 years, and somewhere along the line I fell for him, and then one day I told him I liked him. Okay, wait, I'm gonna find part two. I'm gonna find part two. And he said he wasn't looking for a girlfriend, and that was okay with me. But later that day, he got a girlfriend. A year passed, and she would talk bad about him, so I told him he got mad. Oh, he's so rude. I wasn't sure if I wanted to time them out or not. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's totally okay. Because I honestly probably would have just left it, but then it would have made everyone else feel bad. So I respect it. I'm so sad I'm not going to see Purple Kiss for their last tour. You're not? Wait, why? To be fair, I'm still thinking about it too. Like, I want to go, but do I want to go? That's sad. Ugh. 21 Pilots are touring as well, but I looked at tickets in the StubHub and they asked. Yeah, they're kind of expensive. I'm a little sad because my sister really likes 21 Pilots and I would love to, like, you know, go see them. But she is kind of in the same boat. They're like really expensive and yeah, yep, sorry. I'm missing all the hello, hi, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. Oh, anyway, okay. So back to the story you just told about the guy. I think that that's weird. Okay. Wait, what did you say? And he said he wasn't looking for a. Okay. I think. Um. I think that he probably just wasn't interested from the beginning, which is fine. Okay, people have preferences, but I think it was wrong of him to say I'm not looking for a girlfriend as his response to not being interested but then going to get a girlfriend. Like he should have either just said, hey, like I appreciate you for telling me but I'm just not interested or anything like that. Like that would be fine. It was just the approach that makes him really slimy. Okay, I hate when people do that. It's like you just need to say it straight up with your words. But I'm also a words person. I love words. Oh my god, I love words. Okay? And I mean that in the sense of like when people are telling me things or trying to ask me things or like want to relay something to me, I love it when they're doing it with just like very like clear like a very in a very clear way so that I don't have to decode what they're saying, that what they're saying can be understood by pretty much everyone that they're saying it to. Um but also that it's like genuine and like it's not coming off in like a bad way or anything. It's like, hey, I just want to say that like it's coming from a place and all this stuff. I That's my favorite type of thing. Okay. um and so I've been every time I'm around people, I think they kind of pick up on the fact that I really like that because then they start to do that with me and I'm like, thank you so much. I love communication. Well, I love words. I don't know if I want to dive into the communication part. That's a bit much. I'm trying not to yawn. Just financial reasons. I can't afford to pay everything for myself. Oh, that's so valid. Wait, but what if we go to what if we go to I don't even remember. If they go to Nashville, you should go see them there. I don't think they're going to Nashville. I don't remember where they're going. The worst part is even after all that, it took me 3 years to get over him. But now I know he never cared about me, so I shouldn't care about him anymore. He took too much of my life already. Yeah, I think. I mean, as long as he wasn't like stringing you along either, you know. But if that adds into the like situation, it becomes really crazy. There's like a side conversation going on. Oh, okay. Let me tell you about a horror story I have. It's not a dating horror story. It's like a crush horror story. Except it's not. It's not my crush. It's somebody's. So, somebody had a crush on me. All right, and this actually really pertains. Well, not only to the conversation, but oh, sorry. I just recently got reminded of it because I saw this person again earlier this week after like not seeing this person or even like hearing anything about this person for maybe like 2 years or so. So like it's like fresh in my mind again. Um so I kind of have to explain the background, I feel a little bit. Um Let me try not to yawn first. Let me try not to yawn first. Failed because I yawned. Okay. So a little bit of background. I'm still in college, okay? Long story short, I've taken a lot of breaks in my college career. So like I'd like maybe take 1 or 2 semesters off and then I would go back to school for like a semester or two and then I would take another like I'd just take really like big breaks like that all the time. Sometimes I'd have hard semesters, I'd drop out. Sometimes I would just, not pass my class. It's been a long journey, right? And I've been doing this for a lot of years now. So I want to say maybe back in, I think it was 2020 or 2021. It had to have been after COVID because I used to have all of my classes in person, but then COVID happened. They moved everything to online classes so that we were all like in Zoom meetings. And I don't ever remember seeing this guy in person in any of my like in-person classes. But I like remember him very distinctly in my online classes. So like I think that's when we started having classes together. And it's really strange. Basically, we're all in a Zoom meeting together, but a lot of times we're not doing group things because it's like hard to do group things in a Zoom meeting. And so it's like we really only see these other people based on this little tiny screen we see of them. I'll make you feel old right now. In 2020, I was 12. Okay, well, I was in my early 20s, okay? So, oh, hold on. I missed all the... My friend watched K-pop Demon Hunters and she likes every song, but she doesn't like Free. You know what? That's valid because I'm not a big fan of that song either. If he was able to throw our friendship away as well, he never really cared about us as friends. Exactly. Yeah, you tell him to F off. Gotta go bye. Okay, bye. All right. Okay. Anyway, back to my story. So we apparently have like our first classes together in these like Zoom classes, and I don't really think much of anyone in my classes because like you can't really, they're just other people in the meeting and that's it, and everyone's so in different places, and so I'm not thinking of anything of any of these people. Now, I want to say maybe a semester or two after like our first class together with this guy, he sends me a random message on Facebook. Like all of a sudden it's like 11 p.m., which is really, really weird. Well, he initiated conversation first, to ask about like homework and assignments, and I was like, oh, that's fair because like we have the same class and like maybe he just like forgot or something. And so that was like our very first conversation. But then like maybe a couple weeks after that, he sends me this really, really long paragraph and he's basically telling me that he has a crush on me. He was like, I know, he's like, that I just want to tell you that I actually really like you. And he's like, but then he started like explaining like all of his insecurities about liking me. He said that he was like, I really like you. He's like, but I just don't think that you're gonna like me back because like he's like, I'm this and I'm this and I feel like this about myself and I just don't think that I'm enough for you. That's what he said in the message. Now, I understand the thought behind it, but it was weird in that moment because the only time I had ever talked to him before this was when he was asking about homework. And it was just like, hey, do you remember what the assignment was for this week? And I said, yeah, it's this and this. And he was like, oh, okay, thanks. And then that was it. So imagine my surprise when he sends me this really, really long message saying, hey, I like you. And I'm like, what? And then also I'm like, we only know each other online. Like, or, like we don't talk in class. I only see like this much of him in the and even then he used to keep his camera off or he used to like sit in the dark or something. It was like, I still didn't really even know anything about this guy and he's telling me he has a crush on me. I'm like, okay. And I think I messaged back and I was like, you know what, I really appreciate you for telling me. Like, I know that takes a lot to tell somebody that you like them. I completely I appreciate and I respect it, like, but I also don't really, I said this kind of in like a nicer way, but I was like, I don't really know you, and it's like I can't like people that I don't know. And so I was like, I was like, we can't do much about like, this crush part or whatever. I was like, but we can like maybe get to know each other or something. I don't know. And that's just kind of what I do anyways. When people tell me that they like me and stuff, I'm like, you don't know me, but like we can like kind of have a conversation to see if like you still like me, or like maybe, I don't know. That's just what I do. And what? And what? You're so pretty. Thanks. Anyways, so I say, but maybe we can have a conversation, like just like to get to know each other as people. And he was like, okay, yeah, that's great and awesome. And so we start having just a really basic conversation. And it's like a really normal one. We start asking, like he starts asking like what I like and all this stuff. And I was telling him at the time I was really big on video games. I loved to play Overwatch. I was a big Overwatch player back in the day. And so I told him, I was like, yeah, video game I really like these days is Overwatch. And so we started talking about that. We actually started bonding over Overwatch. Except he's getting all this lore and stuff. And I'm like, okay. I was like, I don't really like Overwatch like that. I just like to play it sometimes. And that's it. And so we have that conversation. But I start to get... This is a really big thing for me, okay? How do I explain this? Something that I really enjoy about other people, especially if like I'm trying to feel their vibes for like a potential like uh like more than like friends kind of thing, is I love when people are like what's the word? I don't want to use the word interesting, because people can be interesting and not be what I want them to be. They have to be like stimulating to me. So like um I just really like when people are interesting. Like that's kind of what I mean by like they always have something. um how am I trying to describe it? Like the mindset that they have, the things that they like to talk about and all this stuff. I don't like when it's really really like surface level, kind of down to earth. No, not down to earth. I'm talking about people who just like they constantly have thoughts running in their head all the time, but they're always like those really really deep and like abstract kind of thoughts. They're like, why do you think the world spins counterclock or whatever, however it spins, and not the other way? And I'm like, oh, like I love things like that. Abstract concept. I don't know what the word is, but I just love when people are mentally stimulating, basically, or when they can mentally stimulate me. And it's a problem for me because I talk to a lot of people who are not mentally stimulated, because a lot of people aren't. It's really hard to find somebody who is like that, which is why I'm just like I'm extra a fan of people who are. Man, do I love people like that. And so in the case of this guy's like, I'm talking to him, we talk for a few days, and I realize that he's kind of a boring person to me. And it's not anything about him. Okay, that's all a me problem. I just like people who are a little bit more interesting. And I just realized that he's not really he's interesting, but he's just a little not interesting for me. So I'm like, okay, so I in a really simple term, I get bored. So, but this happens for me a lot. Sorry, this thing keeps going on. This happens for me a lot. Is I talk to people a lot and I get bored really fast. Um, have you ever had a friend crush where you're not necessarily attracted to someone romantically, but you really want to be around someone? Yeah, actually, I think so. I'm trying to think. What kind of relationship? What? Yeah. Oh, they're talking about K-pop in chat. Anyways, long story short, I get bored of the conversation. And so I start kind of slowing down on my replies and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, maybe it'll just fizzle out, whatever they usually do. Now this guy though, okay, he's like persistent for some reason. He keeps messaging me like every couple of hours. And one thing I hate about people in general, it's just something I don't like. It's a dislike I have. I don't like when people are clingy. it's such such a big like turn off for me. Like when they start to show signs of being like really like clingy, or I wouldn't say obsessive, but just like they always feel the need to be talking to you. And if you're not talking, like if you don't talk for like 3 hours, they like send another message again, and then they send another one, and then they start asking, they're like, do you even like talking to me, all this stuff? And I'm like, whoa brother, it's only been like half a day. Hello. Like, and anyway, so he starts doing that, and I'm like, okay, like now I'm just kind of bored of this whole interaction. And I just kind of leave it. Maybe that was a me thing at the time. Like maybe I should have said, hey, I just am not interested in this anymore, sorry. But I just leave it again, and so all of a sudden he like doesn't message me for like 2 days. And then at like 1 in the morning on like the third day, he sends me this really long paragraph, like even longer than the other one. And he's basically saying in the message that, what's the word? He starts blaming my lack of responses on himself. He's like, it's probably because I'm not interesting. It's probably because like I'm not this and I'm not that. And he's like, I know. And he starts just really like being super negative on himself, and he starts saying crazy things. I don't want to say it's borderline like um what's what's the term? When they start threatening like unaliving on themselves. Kind of like he starts saying that in his message, and I'm like, what the heck? I don't even know this guy. All right. I not only do I not know this guy, we've only been talking for like 2 weeks or so. And he's already saying, he's like, you don't like me, and I don't like that you don't like me. And so then he starts saying, he's like, I'm just not good enough, apparently. And he's like, I should just go and like, and I'm like, what? And it like freaks me out, okay? Freaks me out because that's the first time I've ever had anyone say something like that. And I'm like, what the heck? So I start messaging back, and I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you? Well, then I start explaining myself. I'm like, no, it's not that. It's just, it's like, I don't remember what I said, but I start having this conversation, and then I kind of brought up, I was like, I don't really like that you like said all this stuff to me when we don't really even know each other. Like that's so strange. And I think he ends up or no, I don't remember what happened. I think he stopped talking to me for a couple more days, and then he came back and said, hey, sorry I said all that stuff. It didn't really seem that sincere, but he was just like, I didn't mean to say all that and whatever. He's like, I'll just get out of your life or whatever. I'm like, okay. So then he unfriends me and he blocks me on Facebook. I'm like, okay. So then we don't talk for like a year or so, and then he comes back like a year later, says kind of the same thing. He's like, hey, because then we might have had another class to each other with each other, and then he was like, hey, he's like, I know this is super random. He's like, but I still really like you. And I'm like, well, you kind of threw me off in the last time we talked, so I don't know how I feel about talking to you now. And oh, what does that mean? Wait, I gotta look that up. I'm sorry. What does that word mean? Anyways, so he says it again. Then I was like, hey, I do respect you still for telling me again that you still like me. He's like, but I don't think I'm interested. I'm just not interested. And he was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And then he stops talking to me again. I don't remember if there's anything between that moment and then like, up till recently. I'm not sure because I kind of just like put him off. I don't want to say in like the back. I just kind of like wasn't paying attention to him that much anymore. We had a few more classes together, but nothing really came out of, like he wouldn't message me or anything after that. Anyways, I started thinking about it again because I have a class this semester that he is in, which I haven't had a class with him for maybe like a year or so. And so he's in this class, except this class is like an in-person class, and it's the first time I've ever seen him in person. And I think it's the first time he's ever seen me in person. I'd like to think. All right, so I think I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried. I mean, this happened, like, all this, like, this whole situation happened, like, a couple of years ago, so I'd like to think that maybe he's grown from it, and maybe doesn't like me anymore or just is not interested or anything. But I still do have a fear because he did message me after that first initial conversation. He messaged me a year or two later saying the same. He's like, hey, I still really like you though. And I was like, okay. Like, thanks, I guess. And so now I just have this slight fear that we're gonna go the next couple of weeks to class and then he's gonna say the same thing. And then I gotta say it all over again. Be like, hey, sorry. But I'm just still not interested. Still not interested. Sorry. Yeah. Anyways. I think that was one of, like, the wackier, like, crush situations I've had. Right? Well, I'd call it a horror story because it's, like, the first time I've ever had to deal with somebody like that I didn't really even know. That's so strange. You're so pretty. Thanks. Thanks. I'm yapping about my crush horror stories. Does anyone have a crush horror story? Like, do you guys have anything of the sort? I have, there's, like, another story. It's not a horror story, though. I think it's just really funny. I used to have this crush in high school. I don't know why I had this crush in high school. I didn't really even know him. I've never been in a relationship. Me neither. Okay, me neither, but I have, like, all these, like, scenarios with, like, crushes that I've had, and then, like, I've really only had, like, one situationship. That's the only one I would count. Or maybe two. But, like, I've never really been in, like, an actual relationship. Anyway, I had this crush in high school. I liked him for 2 years. So, like, from my sophomore year to my senior year, I had a crush on this guy. Don't know why I had a crush on him because I didn't know anything about him. Okay, I didn't really ever talk to him. I don't know. I don't know why I had a crush on this guy, but I had a crush on him for 2 years. I think it was just a way for me to, like, pass time. Looking back now, I think it was just because, like, everyone else either had a crush or they were in a relationship and I felt left out. I was like, I want to be cool and special like you guys, so I just picked some guy to have a crush on. Poor him. And anyways, so I had a crush on this guy, but then I graduated high school because he was a grade below me. Hear me out. He's a grade below me, but he was 4 days older than me. So I think, or was it 5? It was 5 or 4 days, 4 or 5 days older than me. Long story. Anyways, so after high school, it's because I think it was also just because I seen him all the time. And so then after high school, it's like I didn't see him anymore. So, like, I had no reason to have a crush on him. So I move on. Life goes great and dandy. I think I might have tried to tell him a couple times in those 2 years because I... why are we just gonna lay it all on the table today? All right, we're just gonna, like, open up and whatever. I don't like to have crushes. Like, it's, like, very selective because, like, obviously if I have a crush on someone, it's, like, somebody that I, like, want to date. But I'm very picky about who I want to date. So, like, if I have a crush on someone, it's like I feel like I do want to date them. And I'm very much like a lover girl. So, like, the people that I feel attached to and that, like, I consider people that I love, I'm, like, very loyal to them. Like, just very, very loyal. Okay? Like, you have to do something so extravagant and extreme for me to, like, not see you in a good way. Or, you know, to, like, break that relationship. And so it's kind of the same for crushes. It's like, you know, this is somebody that I want to be with. And I had a crush on him. I don't even know if I wanted to be with him, but, like, I was, like, committed to the crush bit. So I had a crush on him. But the thing about that is that, I mean, I'm sure you guys can tell. All right. by the way that I talk about One Us is like when I like something, I let everyone know that I like this thing. Okay, everybody knows. And so it's kind of the same with the crush, right? I had a crush on him and I was telling everyone, well, not everyone, but just my friends and stuff. So all of my friends and people close to me knew I had a crush on this guy. So they were all trying to tell me, they're like, you should tell him, you should do all this and that. And I'm like, scared, right? I'm scared and nervous, but like, because they're all trying to tell me like that you should just tell him. It's probably also because I just talked about like having a crush on him for so long that they were like, you either need to do something about it or you need to shut up. So I'm like, I do have a lot of thoughts on relationships. That's what I'm saying. That's what we could talk about. We can talk about anything today. So a lot of times my friends would tell me to like, they'll be like, you should tell him all this stuff. So I think I tried to tell him a couple times. Maybe they told, or like we're trying to throw hints that like maybe I liked him and whatnot. Because by the end of my senior year, I think he knew that I had a crush on him. Like he had to have known. I don't know. Because, all right, this relates to the later story. So I graduated high school, 4 years go by. It's like a lot of years because is it? Because this next situation happened, I think 2 or 3 years ago, or was it more than that? I don't remember. Basically some years go by and all of a sudden out of nowhere, he adds me on Snapchat. I'm like, well, he adds me on Facebook first. And I was like, oh, and it really threw me back because like, I don't like him anymore. You know, I moved on. I don't like him anymore. But it threw me back because I was like, oh my God, like I used to like this guy for such a long time. It was just funny to me at that moment. So he adds me on Facebook. I add him back because I'm like, wow, nostalgia. Except as soon as I add him back, he messages me on Facebook and he was like, hey. And I was like, hey, I was just trying to like catch up, you know. I was like, oh, this is so great. Because to me, I'm like, this is crazy. I used to have the hugest crush on this guy. And now I don't. Like, it's crazy. So we have a really small conversation. And then he's like, we should talk some more. And I'm like, okay, yeah. So then he wants to like, we move the conversation to Snapchat. And so we start talking on Snapchat. And that's where he starts getting like, I'm not flirty. But it was funny in the sense that he was like, he wasn't just trying to have a normal conversation. He was like, you know, he was kind of throwing in like compliments and all that. He was like, we should hang out sometime. And I'm sitting here, I'm just laughing. I think it's the funniest thing because I was like, this is crazy. Because I used to have the hugest crush on this guy in high school and he would not look at me twice. Okay. This is what it's like, I think he knew I had a crush on him in high school, but he didn't like me back. But like, I totally understand because if I saw me from high school too, I wouldn't like me either. Okay. Not to say, it's just, I wasn't at my best, in high school. And so like, I understood that part. I was like, I get why you don't like me back. Like, that's so fine. It's all right. But it was just goofier because like now, right? Like so many years later is like, I'm grown now. I've definitely had a glow up since high school. Like I do not look the way I looked in high school. I know that like my life looks so much better now. It looks so awesome and great to everyone else. You know, like I know that I'm much prettier now than I was back then. And so it was just funny that he all of a sudden is now saying like, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, you didn't like me when I was ugly. I don't know, you know, like this is just not genuine. I think if you can like me when I'm ugly and you can like me when I'm pretty, then maybe then then I'll accept it. But like, he was only liking me now because I'm pretty all of a sudden. So I thought that was really, really funny. Like he just kept trying to be persistent. He was like, we should hang out, we should talk more, all this stuff. And I'm like, you lost your chance. You had your chance back then. And now you don't. So now luckily he hasn't messaged me back since then. And that was like a few years ago. I wish I knew how many had a crush on me. Me too sometimes. Like I want to know like the people who like genuinely have a crush on me. Like I don't even know if there's anyone that actually has a crush on me. They might just like be, I don't know, like a passing crush. I'm not sure. I have a question. What is it? 세호가 누구? 안 세호 아니야. Uh, Soho. It's Soho. It's, I know it's mirrored, but it Soho. 한국어 잘 못해요. 원어스 메인 보컬 Soho. Okay, I had a question for you. What is it? Do I have the no? Yeah, anyways, so that was a cute little story, I think. Hello? Do I have any other not relationship, but like, I wouldn't even say like horror stories, but just stories in general. Stories in general. Pineapple on pizza? No, I don't like that. I don't like that. Oh, I do have a kind of a genuine question. But have you guys ever met somebody who was like really close to your ideal type? Or have you met anyone or seen anyone in like real life that like is your ideal type? And be honest. I saw on their channel ONEUS and they performed Your Idol from Demon Hunters. I was wondering if you saw that as well. I did. It's in my vlogs. I put the performance in my vlogs. You're so beautiful. Thanks. Okay. My answer to my own question is it's a little sad when I think about it sometimes. I have met one guy who's like really close to what I want in a person physically. Physically? Physically, that man was beautiful. Oh my god, I had a crush on him from just the way he looked. And it makes me sad every single time that I think about it, because it was somebody that was like actually interested in me. They like liked me back. We like hung out one time and they were like he was just so like into it. He was like, yeah, like this is so fun, I love this. And I'm like, oh my god. And he's like so pretty and amazing and awesome, and I was so smitten by this guy, right? I'm just really sad because it didn't work out, because I think like our like romantic styles or whatever, like they just didn't match. And I hate it so bad because he was just so he was so cool to me. Like, he was just so cool. And I'm mad because I'm like, you really can't have it all at the end of the day. But I think about him sometimes. Does it make me petty? I have the same logic. You didn't see the beauty of me before and only now you do, but it's too late and I can't forget the past. No, because sometimes I think about that, but I only think about that in the case of like people that I knew from a long time ago, who like knew me when I like wasn't pretty. Well, I shouldn't say that about myself. I think I was. It's just I'm definitely much better looking now than I was back then. And so it's really only in like that case. But also it's people that like I had been interested in back then that weren't interested in me then, but like maybe are now interested in me. And it's like, it just feels so superficial. It feels like, you know, you really only like me for the way that I look on the outside. But is that hypocritical? I just said I just said I had I loved the way this guy looked. I didn't know I had a type till my friend pointed it out. All my past crushes. Okay, but like, have you ever had one specific person who was like close to your ideal type or was your ideal type? Or have you like not seen that person yet? Redheads for me, except low-key it's a red flag. Oh, you know Stray Kids? Yeah. Do you like Jenny's music? Kind of. I had to glow up so I can relate. Period. Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm actually really, really glad that I was one of the people that was not so pretty or anything in high school, because that means that it only goes up from there. Now, I do know a few people from my class, like people that, you know, I went to school with and stuff, that they were actually really pretty in high school and stuff. Like they were the ones that I was like, man, I wish I looked like them. Like, I wish I could have looked like them. Like, they're so pretty. But them now is so, like, kind of the opposite. And it just makes me feel bad because I'm like, you had it all going for you back then. And now it's like, not. I was watching a movie on YouTube for free with ads. I don't know if it's free right now because sometimes they take off movies, but it was called, oh, yeah, I've never heard of that. Yeah. Those Korean guys look, what? Oh, I thought you were gonna say scary. I was like, there's nothing scary about them, I swear. This girl that worked at Korean barbecue, she was so pretty, I got flustered when I was talking to her. Really? Wait. Okay, well, girls are different though. But I honestly, I see a lot of girls who are just so pretty. I'm like, man, like you're just so, like girls are just so pretty at the end of the day. Guys, it's way harder to see a good looking guy out and about. And so when I do, oh, well, okay, no, he wasn't really like my ideal type. The guy at the Nashville concert. The One Us concert in Nashville. He wasn't like physically like my ideal type. I just thought he was cute. Like I thought he was just kind of, he had such a like a cute slash adorable look, but not in like a, how can I describe the way he looked? It still gave off like a very mature kind of vibe, but it still looked really cute. Like he just looked cute. But but that might have been like the first person that I've seen in a while, like first guy in a while, where I looked at him and I was like, man, like I think you are adorable. I think you're adorable. um but like girls, it's so much easier to see a pretty girl out and about. I see them all the time and I'm like, man. I remember I read the book for The Secret Garden and I loved it, but people said that old movie's bad. Oh, really? Ah. Sorry. Day 6 bias is still up in the air. Oh, fair. The mid girls in my high school still look mid. Maybe they get their glow up really late, or they can always save up for cosmetic surgery. I do feel bad when I see the athletic ones become really obese. Yeah, okay, see, this makes me sound like a hater, but it's actually just really true. I hate that it's true. All of the people in my class, because it's not just limited to girls, it's like the guys are like this too. The ones who were like just really, I hate to use the word attractive, but attractive in high school, they're kind of all the ones that are just not anymore. But like the opposite is true too though. Like all of the ones in my class that maybe were not that attractive are actually really attractive now. They're like, they flipped the whole, you know. So I'm like, well, like good for them. There are some people I would say that maybe were like kind of like very average and stayed just a little average. That's okay too. That's so true, but that also made me realize that I was lesbian and that I never really paid attention to men. Okay, that's valid. That's really valid. I did listen to Ive's new song, XOXZ, and I love it so much. Isn't it so good? Give me the X, give me the O, give me the L-O-V-E. Na-na-na-na-na-na-na. I want it all. I want it all. Na-na-na-na-na-na. Anyways, What? What are you talking about? What are we talking about? Some people are talking about K-pop. We're talking about relationships. Relationships, like ideal types, horror stories if you have any. We listen to it all. It's not bad to make eggs just to nibble on at 1 a.m., right? I have to only eat soft food. Oh, yeah, no. You can make whatever you want at whatever time of the day. Yeah, I think other than this one guy, I just like, he just like popped into my head all of a sudden. I'm actually kind of sad too, though, because like I said, it just didn't work out. And because I was very like physically attracted to him, is that what the word? I tried to like try to make it work a few times because I was like, man, I swear to God, this guy is just so like, he's just really close to like my ideal type. And so I tried a few times, and just every single time it like wasn't working, and I'm just so sad. I'm so sad. I wish it would though. No, I wish it would. Can I spill some tea? Oh, do. Please do. What do you think of couples moving in together before they're married if they've been dating for less than a year? Okay, are you asking in like just a general like opinion, or are you asking like my personal opinion? Because like in a general opinion, I think I'm a firm believer in the saying that like time doesn't dictate anything. Because sometimes you will be with somebody for like maybe like a month or two, and then like you'll just know, like you just immediately, like everything just feels like it's like, you know, flying by. And so some people do, like they will move in together because they just feel like, yeah, like I could live with this person right now, even though we've only been dating for 3 months. Your personal opinion? My personal opinion is that I take a long time to be comfortable, like super comfortable with somebody, especially if it's a relationship. I have to take a lot of time to really warm up and like feel out what's going on. So in the case of moving in, I think I would have to wait probably a year. Like we would have to be in just like a normal regular relationship for at least a year. Cause then I feel like I would know after a year, I would know a lot about their personality, and then I would know if I'd be able to be comfortable with them as like a roommate. Cause that's like what it is. It's just your roommate at that point. But that's my personal, cause like I'm a slow, what's that word? Slow burn kind of person. Like I take a long time, a very long time to like warm up to someone. I would join the relationship talk, but I don't have any problems with my life. Okay, but have you ever had like a crush and like something like went wrong or something, or even just like crush stories in general? Talk about your ideal type. What's your ideal type? What's your ideal, what's like some red flags? Red flags that you have. Non-negotiable. I've dealt with being overweight, so I know the struggles of the girlies, and to some degree it's worse for them because as a society we put more value on women's appearance. That is so true. That is so true. Because not a lot of people, like if you were to put like an overweight man and an overweight woman, like, you know, side by side, it's like people wouldn't really pay attention to the man as much as they would the woman. And I do think that's sad. Oh, yeah. She has like a really cute relationship. I feel I can suss out people in 6 weeks. I can do it like really fast. Like I can sense the vibes of somebody like within like a week. That's kind of why a lot of my talking stages don't last. I don't even call them talking stages. It's like, it's sort of why like when somebody like expresses their interest in me, I'm like, okay, well, let's have a conversation. Like let's just try to get to know each other as people. I can usually tell after like a week if it's going to last or if it's not. If like I feel that there's no sustenance to what's going on. And 90% of the time, it doesn't last after a week. Ideally, I'd get to know them for 6 years. If that's your personal opinion. Horror story. Oh, I'm missing all the comments. I'm sorry. Me and my friend were recording something funny in the city, and as she was recording, she fell in a manhole because she didn't watch her step, and she was in the hospital for 2 months. That's sad. We met in kindergarten, then we grew up together as friends, and then we started becoming lovers, and we're dating for 2 years. That's so adorable. Oh, God. I want to be like you. I was going to my crush's house, and I found a lot of tissues, and I asked him about it. But he said, you don't want to know, but when we're going to play Minecraft, I said, oh. Okay, that's one of those, like, things that's, like, what's the word? An open secret. It's, like, not to out the men, but there are a few items that if you have them just laying around, okay, we know what you're doing. But I don't think it's wrong to think that that's wrong about a guy, because a lot, not just guys, okay, a lot of people do that. The only time I think that it's weird is if they're leaving those things around out in the open. Like, I do think, especially if you're trying to have like a girl come over, like, we should be taking care of the space a little bit. All right, let's put our tissue box away. Let's let's clean up the tissues on the floor. Let's, like, move the lotion bottle somewhere else. Like, like let's just, like, tidy up a little bit, okay? That's when I think it's disgusting. I don't think it's disgusting to just be like, oh my God, like, you know, what are these? It's more so like if they're kind of just out and not, you know, just properly stowed away. Ah. Some kid in kindergarten was, oh my God, his love language is physical touch and mine is quiet time. Wait. What is that? What the heck is that? Falls into like one of the other ones. Ah, you look amazing. Your beautiful eyes and hair. Thank you. Thank you. Crush got ruined. I was so disgusted. I understand it. No, that's what I said. I think it's disgusting when it's just so prominent everywhere. Quality, yeah, quality time. I was like, wait, it's not quiet time. It's quality time. Wait, that's cute. I think I mentioned that and how our first kiss was underneath the tree. Yes! That's what I'm saying. I want to be like you. I really wish. I only have one instance of where that could have happened for me, but it's not my lifetime, I guess. But so like am I getting deep and personal here? Am I gonna be deep and personal? The first time that I felt like I ever loved somebody was when I was like 13 or 14. Okay. And it was this boy. And I had the hugest crush. Oh, kind of, yeah. I had this like this little cute little crush on him. But this actually started like when we were in middle school. I had a slight crush on him, so then we started like texting each other. But then I just kind of realized that I really, really liked his mannerisms and his personality. I thought he was adorable. I don't know if I want to get too deep into the fact that I think that the personality that I'm like the most attracted to is very similar to how I saw him the first time, or like how I interacted with him the first time. It's like this personality where they seem really shy and quiet. Okay, okay, I'm like outing myself right now. They seem really like shy and reserved and kind of quiet, and it seems like if you go up to them they're gonna be a little quiet, but as soon as you start talking to them and like getting to know them, they're like not that at all. All right, they got like they got like thoughts. They have thoughts, and they're like they have interesting like just topics to talk about all the time. Okay. I think it's because of him, now that I'm thinking about it. But that's kind of what he was. He seemed so shy and stuff, but when we were talking, he was just so nice. He was so nice and he was so friendly and all this stuff, and I was like, man. Anyways, I fell in love, okay, at the small age of 14. But that's kind of like that's like the only instance that I have that it could work out like that, because we knew each other since we were in first grade. We started like flirting or whatever when we were in like sixth grade or so, and then got into this like weird romantic relationship when we were eighth grade. It lasted all throughout high school, but we weren't dating. And then it lasted past high school up till like a couple years ago. Okay, it was a really long, unnecessarily long situationship. But sometimes I wish that that would have worked out for us instead, because that would be a cute story to talk about. Like, hey, we knew each other since first grade, and now look at us. Like, that's why I'm jealous. That's why I'm just really jealous of you, because like I wish I could have that, but it's okay. It's fine. Do I know what? Didn't have to go through that. You think bro would tidy up before you pull? Yes, that's what I'm saying. The Suo was good. What? It was summer and it was hot, and we just went to sit to get some shade. I'm jealous. Jealousy is a disease, and I have it. Okay. But I found another crush. My crush right now. Oh, and we were searching something. I saw how to confess your love for somebody. I immediately. Oh, wait, that's adorable. That's adorable. Anyways, that was on purpose. Yeah, so you could find it. Yeah, because if he was trying to hide it for real, he would have just deleted it. So I think if you're searching it and it's there, he would have. I think he just wanted you to see it. So Hollywood's hit the bar in space. I know. I know. I'm trying to have like a really what's the word? I want like a really crazy love story. I want one that like not everyone can have. I want some like rich CEO to see me in the street one day and just like fall in love with me or something. I don't know. A football player. A professional basketball player. I don't know. I want, that would be so slay. That's slay. I had a fan call the other day and my sister thought I was talking to a guy I met on Tinder. No, you could have played into it. She made all this up herself. You could have played into it. I guess you can't, because yeah, it was a male idol. But that would have been funny. That would have been really funny. Yeah. Wait, I think I'm gonna confess tomorrow since he's like 10 minutes away. Do it. Do it. We're in the era of YOLO. Do things. Well, I'm actually just this kind of person anyways. I like to do things and like not regret it later on, than to not do something and then just wonder constantly like, what if I did this thing? So I would say do it, because you just never know. You really you never know what could come from it. And at the end of the day, the worst thing that he could say is no. And then like what happens after that? It's like, oh darn, that sucks, and then you just move on. I'm not Delulu, I'm just a dreamer. Me too. But I'm also delusional at the same time, so I can play into it since I'm not out with my family. Wait, what do they call that? There's a term for it. Like when you like use somebody of like the opposite gender to kind of hide your sexuality and stuff. In cases like that where it's like maybe you can't come out to people around you, or like you just need to maintain a certain image or whatever. Lavender relationship. There you go. With the K-pop idol. Wait, I forgot to add something. My best friend is his sister. Oh, wow. We've gotten lore. And it's interesting. My mom found the Harry Potter Krispy Kreme donuts and was not allowed to eat them. Why not? Why not? Yeah, I don't have any water. I'm gonna die. Anyway, what was I talking about? I do think all of this has stemmed from the fact that I don't know if you guys know. I'm sure everyone does. It's kind of a popular topic these days. Taylor Swift got engaged. Good for her, right? She got engaged. I also was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about relationships in general and stuff. And I think I've been talking about this all year anyways, but something that I think about pretty regularly these days, which I don't know why, because I'm still relatively young anyway. But I just constantly think about like relationships and like marriage and all this stuff. Now, marriage, I don't know why, because I don't even have a relationship to focus on. How am I focusing on marriage? But I think I just like to think about it because like I ideally at the end of the day I would like to get married. I would love to get married. Um but then I start kind of breaking it down into like, well, how do you get married? You got to find somebody to date first. You got to find somebody to marry. But then me as a person, I am very, in simple terms, I'm a picky girl. All right, I have high standards and I'm picky. So it's not that I don't have options, right? It's just that a lot of those options I think don't fit anything that I want or wouldn't fit anything that I don't want to say need, but there's like this like bottom line that I would want somebody to meet, to be in my life. Okay? And a lot of times a lot of guys don't meet that. So, and but then it makes me like, am I too picky? Like, do I just have like do I need to like lower my standards? But then I also revert back to the fact that like I would much rather just have high standards and be picky and not settle for somebody who like is just not beneficial to things that I'm doing in my life or want to do in my life. Just to not be single, you know? Like I would much rather just be on my own and by myself if that meant that I wasn't dating somebody who was like dragging me down. In simple terms, okay? Um but I feel like I'm constantly thinking about these all the time these days, and so I just thought it would be a fun topic to talk about today. My lore is kind of weird. No, what do you mean? Because of my tongue tied? Oh, you can't. Oh no. Wait, that's sad. I'm gonna extract my tooth in like a month. Oh my god. I think girls have a crush on me, but I think they like the idea of me liking them, not really liking me for me. So I talk myself out of asking them on a date. Wait, that's... I've never even thought about that as a concept. That you can like the idea of somebody liking you. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. Okay, yeah. That's such a valid concept though. Like that's probably I bet a lot of people do that. He's awake, my crush is awake. Yeah, talk to him. Go have a conversation. Go say hey. And then tell him all of a sudden, hey, I have a crush on you. I was just living off of ice cream and eggs most days. Okay, what about like yogurts and smoothies though? Can you have those? What is going on? Okay, I tried to do something like different. Okay, I tried to do something different with my hair today, but I think that wasn't a good idea. I don't even know if you guys could tell. Let me... Hold on. What is going on? What? What is going on? I wouldn't confess to my crush, not even for $1 billion. What? Why? Why not? Wait, no. No. I can have those. I don't like yogurt though. Oh. Along with avocado and steak. Okay, but what about a smoothie? Anyways. Hanji-san. Yeah, he's alright. He's okay. I would confess to my crush for $1 billion. That's like easy. Now it's scary. This is kind of why I wish I had a crush these days. I wish I did, because then I would know, like, would I do that? Like, if I had a current crush, would I confess? Okay. Hypothetically, let's say I had a crush right now. I had a huge crush. I don't think I would tell him straight up, which is so hypocritical because I always say, I love when people just tell me things straight up. I don't think I would say it. Well, I would eventually. I would fill out the vibes first. I would be like, okay. I would start throwing in a bit of some, like, I hate to call it flirting, but it would be a little bit of flirting. And then I would see, is it receptive or is it not? Now, if it was being received well, then I think I might just say it. After feeling out the vibes, I would be like, hey, need to talk to you about or I want to mention something to you. And then I like just straight up be like, hey, I wouldn't say I have a crush on you. I would say I am interested in you. I think you're hot. No, I'm just kidding. But I probably would. You could give me $100 and I would do it. I like those. You could have smoothies. I'm about to cry. What happened? What happened? I about killed my friend who liked Stray Kids and then hated them for saying that. Oh, Han is not ugly though. My personal opinion, Han is not ugly. You gotta hit that I like you. Yeah, true. That is so true. Yeah. Now, if only I had a crush to say that to, that would be great. But next time I do. Well, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know. My crush told me, can you tell my bully that he likes what? Oh. Jesus, sorry. My crush knows I like them, but is what? Wait, your crush is taken? But yeah, true. Turns out that search wasn't for me. That's sad. Then why did he leave it there? No way you waited. No, it's okay. You waited for the timeout to expire to come back and say things. Okay. Sure. What does it say about me that I go out of my way to let my crush die? Because low-key, I got too many narcissistic tendencies right now. And I wouldn't want them to deal with them being a second priority. Honestly, I think it probably stems from insecurity, which is totally fair. But I do think that at some point, like, if you do have a crush on somebody, that you should just let it, like, you should try to explore it or something. Because at the end of the day, like, you really never know what'll happen when, like, from a crush. Like, imagine you do tell them you like them. Imagine they're like, okay, yeah, or like they do like you back, or they're like willing to get to know you in that way, and then like you guys end up together, and then imagine that's like the love of your life. You get married and all this, you know, that's the most ideal situation. But also, like, you could date somebody and then end up meeting how do I want to say this? The experience you get from dating that person would lead you to another person who maybe potentially is the love of your life or something. Like, everything is always like, you're meant to have these experiences for a reason. So I would say that it's important to explore some of these things. Okay, I came back to say sorry. Okay, yeah, like I said, when they're single they'll let me know. Okay, that's immediately a red flag. I wouldn't I would just move on. Okay, if your crush is telling you to wait until they're single, that's a big no. That's a big no. And now you know why I don't go trying to find out things. My crush is single, and they're trying to find out. What were they trying to find out? Oh, they're trying to find out how to confess? I like how when I meet little kids and them being young, they ask me if me and my boyfriend are married, and I said no. I find that so adorable for them to think I'm married at 22. I mean, in a little kid's mind, though, it's like, that's a very reasonable age to be married. At our age, though, it's like, why would you get married at 22? Like, that's goofy. That's adorable, though. That is. Nobody tries to find something until they're sure. Yeah. True. They like me, but it's taken, so I don't know what to do. That sounds like a red flag, too. I would be careful about that. I'm trying not to yawn. I'm really trying. I think one girl that had a crush on me, I feel bad. I don't think I miss this other girl that had a crush on me. But that means you just liked that girl more than you liked the other one. My crush is single? Oh. Okay, yeah. You know what? I get that, because me too. Me as well. You know what? I really hate to burst your bubble, but I think, as much as I like to talk about relationships and stuff, I do think that if I was to get into a relationship, you guys wouldn't know. I know I say, like, we're close, okay? We're all BFFs here. But I also like to keep a lot of my life kind of, or like certain aspects of my life, private. And it wouldn't even just be like here, it would also be like with people in other public spaces as well. Oh my god. That if I did get into a relationship, I don't think anyone would know. So, okay, even though we're BFFs here, I hate to say, you probably would be a secret. Like, I probably would just continue talking the way that I'm talking now, as if I'm single. Matter of fact, I could be in a relationship right now and you guys wouldn't know. Because I like to keep things private. I got broken up with after 6 months, found out they never loved me, and left me for my best friend who I'll never talk to again. So back to 3 friends. That's insane. Telling us nobody wants to grow. Oh god, I remember this kid. He's 17. I met him online through Fortnite. He asked if anyone knew One Direction. I said yes. And he said, well, of course you do. You're old. What? What's wrong with One Direction? Oh. Nobody needs to know. That's true. Heavenly boyfriend. No, he really would. Okay. This is another secret kind of trait. I guess something that I also really kind of favor when I'm like having conversations and stuff with other guys and whatnot is I really look at how they would want to portray a relationship in public. Because I'm not really secretive for any specific reason. It's just I don't really like to share I don't know. I guess it's just I just naturally like to keep things to myself, like private and whatnot. But that was the issue that I had with this guy who is he was really close to my ideal type, okay? Like I said, like I think about him all the time because he was so pretty. The issue I had with him was that he was looking for somebody to like start dating almost immediately. Now, one, that's not how I roll. Okay, I like to get to know people first. But he wanted to like lock it in quick. And then the other thing is that he constantly talked about wanting to show off who he was dating. He was like, I want to tell everyone and I want everyone to, post about her all the time and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't want that at all. Actually, I don't want that at all. I would hate to be in a relationship and have somebody just constantly posting about me. I'm like, because then it starts bordering that like clinginess, kind of, I guess slight possessiveness. I like a little bit of possessiveness, but not that much. And it really just throws me, like, I just don't like that. But that's kind of what he was saying. I was like, I hate that you're so, that, I hated it. Because again, he was like kind of my ideal type. But we just weren't matching well. And I was like, this sucks. But anyways, I do think that I would want to be with someone who also wants to have sort of like a low-key relationship, where like maybe people know either that we're like in a relationship, maybe not with each other, but just in general, or that we are in a relationship with each other, and then that's it. Like that's all they know. That's the kind of person I'm looking for. And when he said that, I questioned my mind, thinking if I was really that old. I don't think so. I mean, One Direction, I don't know. I don't think we're that old. I'm single because something is wrong with me. I think I'm too. Period. Period. I know One Direction. I'm a kid. I yelled, that's what makes me feel down my lungs. True. I have bunny teeth. Oh, wow. Are you an army? Kind of. I was thinking about that too, and how if I was a public figure, I would keep my relationship a secret. Just because people can be so nosy and try to get involved in a relationship. That's true. Honestly, I don't think that part would bother me. Because I like to think that I'm secure enough to not let people, especially on the internet, not let what people say bother me. And like if it came to a relationship, it wouldn't really bother what they were saying about my relationship, because it's like, I know you don't know anything about this relationship, so everything you say is just not, it's based on like one thing you saw, like you don't know anything about the relationship. So like if I happen to be, if I was like a public figure and I happen to be in a public relationship, I don't think like any of the parasocialness would like bother me that much. I think the thing that would bother me about it though is that it would feel if I was a public figure and I had my relationship like publicized, what would bother me about it? I guess it's more just like it's just not a me thing. Like I just don't like doing that. Just because I like to be low key. Because then I think it might make me feel like I was doing everything for like other people. It's like it would start to feel inauthentic. I don't know. Well, something would bother me about it, but I don't know what it is. I'm gonna have to think about it. But yeah, I definitely, especially if I was a public figure, or if I happen to just meet some celebrity and they fall in love with me on the spot, if we like happen to have a relationship, I think I would just naturally want to keep it low key. like under wraps. Nobody knows we're dating. I would do that. I would never bring any of my crushes to my family except like maybe one or two. See, that's the other thing too, is like the older that I get, the more that like people around me anticipate me like dating somebody, because they have never known any of the people that I have ever like been interested in or had talked to or like situationship anything. To to my family, like I have just constantly been single. So I think that they're also really anticipating the day that I do get into a relationship. And what is this? Where is this? And so because of that, it's like now I'm even more picky because I want my first relationship, or like the first person that I bring to like introduce to my family, to be somebody that they can look at and be like, "Oh yeah, I see why. I see why that she picked him," or like I see why like I just want them to be proud of the person that I'm with. I want them to look at him and be like, "Yeah, like we really appreciate you, we respect you, we like are just so admire, they admire him." That's what I really want. What is it with 90% of people from Asia being too hot to be real? True. Yeah, post everything that way us the viewers are also dating. Yeah, I just have like one content relationship and that's it. When I see someone with beautiful, see someone beautiful, I walk out of the room because I feel ugly with them. Like pale skins. Oh, you know what? I love seeing attractive people in real life, but it like makes me really like flustered when I see people that I think are pretty. I'm like, oh God. Oh Jesus. I want to be a K-pop idol. I already have a group name, still looking for members. Oh, cute. You're beautiful. Thanks. Do you like other groups besides ONEUS? No. Just kidding, yeah. I really want to either be working with JYP or Hybe labels. Ooh. I want to be a K-pop idol to see their skincare secrets. Yeah, true. Yeah, how do they keep their skin so glossy? Glossy and glassy. The other companies scare me. Yes. Like that member in Rise, I don't know his name, but he got kicked out from past photos of him with the girl and got kicked out and had to walk past all the death threat signs outside. I was just crying. I know. I don't like how they like shun K-pop idols when they date. It's such like dating is such a natural thing. Like it's so incredibly natural. Now, I have opinions on how K-pop idols are dating. I think I got my boomer thoughts and opinions. I don't think we should be like shunning them for just dating in general. Everyone does it. Okay? The thing that I think that they should, that I kind of agree with is like idols. How do I explain this? Because it's also something that I learned from being in a very similar position. Oh God, not notification. I was in a similar position where I was told that I had to be careful of the way that I conducted myself in public, but I also had to be careful of how I was, like, because they also understood. They were like, "We get it. You're a young lady. You might meet somebody along the way." But they were saying like just be careful of how you're kind of navigating that. If you do start talking to somebody, if you do start dating somebody, they said, because this also applied to the person before me, that if you do happen to get in a relationship, like to kind of keep it under wraps. Like don't promote it all the time, don't talk about it all the time, definitely no PDA, all this stuff. Because the good thing was that they explained why. It's like because you're in this position where you're like a public figure. Okay, we're gonna say it like that. You're like a public figure. A lot of people are looking at you and they all have this perception of you, like because of the role that you're in and what it represents. And because of that, it's like they already have this like predetermined perspective image of you, and they want you to uphold that when they see you. Like you want them to maintain that every time they see you, and you don't want to do anything that's going to ruin that. So I think learning that and then putting it into the perspective of K-pop idols, I was like, it's kind of the same thing. It's like idols are public figures. You got to think about who your audience is. Who's like, think about all of the eyes on you, and think about what their impressions are. Like impressions they could get from you, like just seeing you in public or anything. And you look so pretty. Thanks. And so like with that, like thinking about dating, right? It's like I don't think there's nothing wrong with dating, but it's important to kind of maintain how that plays out in your life. Basically, I think that if K-pop idols date, that they should kind of keep it down low. Like they should keep it really, really like secretive almost, or that they're just kind of like they're taking care of like the things that are happening in their relationship. Like they're making sure that the person that they're dating is very aware. I think that's a thing too. They need to make sure that the people that they're dating are aware of the idol's job and their reputation and all this stuff, but that they also understand that they're kind of part of this problem, not problem, situation now as well. And dare I say, I think this should just be kind of like a thing people think about anyways. If somebody happens to date an idol and they're not in the industry already, because if you're in the industry, you already understand how this works. But if a K-pop idol dates somebody outside of the entertainment industry, that this person that they're dating kind of understands that they also need to uphold like certain values and stuff. And how am I trying to explain this? How am I trying to explain this? Like the person that they end up dating should know that they're dating a K-pop idol who is a public figure, and that they have certain things that they have to follow just because of their job. And like I think that they should just realize that from the beginning. And so when I hear all these stories of like the girl, like say like it's like some male K-pop idol, they're dating a girl, and like she's like, I don't know, not in the industry, and they're dating, and then the girl starts like threatening the guy, saying like, I'm gonna take your career, all stuff or whatever. It's like, why would you do that though? Because you went into that knowing he was a K-pop idol, or like knowing they're celebrities. So like why would you even go into that situation if you're just gonna turn around and act like that? So that's my thought process. I do think that if K-pop idols are dating, especially if they're dating outside of the idol industry, that they really make sure that the person that they're trying to date or that they want to date is on the same page of like they're aware, you know, like, hey, you're dating, like, I'm my career, all this stuff, you have to understand that all these things happen. It's like, yeah, anyways. Me on a tangent, I'm so sorry. I don't get why it's so bad to date as a K-pop idol. Yeah, I think they should be allowed to. I don't think we should be like burning them at the stake. But I do think it's also a responsibility of a K-pop idol to really, the term I like to use is take care of your personal life. Like just make sure that, because it's like their job at the end of the day. That's your career. Like you want to not do anything to jeopardize your career. And so part of that is you have to just take those extra steps to know that if you do happen to date somebody and it's outside of the industry, that they know what they're signing up for, you know what you're signing up for, and that you're kind of all on the same page. If I get divorced, is it reasonable to then go on a baby mama speed run? If my kids start getting half, oh my god, that's crazy. Notification is my fan. Oh, thank you so much. It's like that before him being an idol. He had a lover and then got leaked, so the SMK would be like, oh yeah, true. I don't even think they heard him out. They just wanted to look good for fans and themselves. No, I think they did, but I don't like that SM catered a little too much to the fans that time because they tried to add him back in. They were like, yeah, we're just gonna throw him back in the group, and like all of the Korean fans didn't like it, so they kicked him back out. But I wish they would have kind of just stuck with it and just was like, whatever. Who cares? Being a K-pop idol is hard. They have to look perfect. That is true. I want to be Korean. They're so pretty. By the way, not all Koreans are beautiful. I want to be Korean so bad. Okay. Yeah. Not every Korean person looks like a K-pop idol. We should point that out now. But it's the same for every other country. Like, every person in that country doesn't look like they're like celebrities and whatnot. That's why they're celebrities. They're pretty. I was just thinking that sometimes it's hard to balance relationships and their idol work. Like, they work so hard, and I think that's why that's a rule. It kind of is. So, like, I don't know if anyone knows, JYP has this rule for their idols that they can't date within the first 3 years of their contract, and their contract starts when they debut. But that's put in place because they want the idols to focus on building their career and really getting kind of established, but also getting comfortable with the way that like idol life works and not have to worry about like dealing with a relationship on the side. Because I think dating as an idol is so much harder. Obviously, it's so much harder than just dating as a regular person, or even like as an actor or anything. It's way harder to date as an idol, and that's why they tend to date within the idol industry. They'll just date other idols because everyone has that same sense of understanding of like, you're all trying to like salvage your careers at the end of the day. Like, you need to put your career first when you're a K-pop idol, and it's easier to trust somebody who also has that same belief than to take a risk on somebody that like you don't know if they, you know, it's like somebody could say that they won't do that. They're not an idol, and they'll be like, yeah, I wouldn't do that ever. And then like things go wrong and suddenly they're like, I'm exposing you on Twitter. Hello? So goofy. I'll tell you right now, if I ever had the chance, in the off chance I was ever dating a K-pop idol, I would never ever do that in my entire life. Because it's also because like I've been in that situation where like I not only had to like watch how I was presenting myself, but if I was talking to somebody and I did happen to get into a relationship with them, that I would have to like worry about how they were acting too. And it's kind of partially why I didn't even think about a relationship in that moment or in that time period, because I was already dealing with the whole like responsibility of what the role was anyways. I couldn't really balance a relationship with it, but it's also I didn't want to put forth the effort of trying to make sure that the other person understood the same way, because the chances of them understanding that and being okay with it was really low. Like, I don't think anyone would have thought of it the same way that I was. So I was like, you know what, I'm just not even gonna think about it, and I didn't. But I think it's because I had an experience like that, that if I, in the very slim chance that I ever got to date a K-pop idol, that because I understand that aspect, that I would never ever do that. I would never, like, even if things went so incredibly wrong and we were like broke up and we're like just mad at each other, like want to punch each other in the face every single time we see each other, I still would never say anything about it. Because that's not anyone else's problem, that's ours. Like, that's our problem. And that'll be our problem just for the rest of our lives. It's not anyone else's problem. So, I'm gonna tell my kid, yeah, me and your mom couldn't stick to our vows, and I got 8.5 siblings. That's crazy. It's 1:30. I'm gonna go to bed. Okay. Thanks for hanging out. Today. I hope you have a good sleep. Because I know some idols that are dating or married and have families. So I was like, is it okay then in some companies? I think most companies have the same, like probably dating clause where they can't date in the first. Well, some companies don't even have dating clauses, or they do, but they're not as enforced as other ones. Like JYP has like a strict ban, like they just ban dating for 3 years. SM might have the same one. Maybe, well, maybe not. I don't think they have a ban. It's just more like a heavily discouraged, highly discouraged clause. Not sure. Oh, it took me 8 months to learn 21 choreos. That's crazy. I wish Jackson Wang from GOT7 finds love because I see him taking care of the other idols and the way he talks in interviews. I was like, God, get this man a girlfriend, please. That's how I seen him talking about. I think it was a podcast or interview or something, and he was talking about how he hasn't dated in a while, but he really wants to get married. And he's like, I'm not dating anyone right now. He's like, and I'm not really in a position, like he's not talking to anyone either. And he's like, so I don't know how I'm gonna get married by this time, but I really want to get married by this time. And I was like, please, God, if you're out there, send this man the love of his life tomorrow. Like, just throw her in front of him. Please, God, Jesus Christ. I would love to see that man married. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Hey, how are you? I'm good. I'm good. I might end stream here in a bit. I've been yapping for almost 2 hours. Isn't that crazy? I'll do 10 more minutes-ish. 8 to 10 more minutes. What happened, Jackson Wang? Oh, he needs to find a wife. He needs to find a wife so he can have a family. That's what's happening. And what made me want him to have a relationship is because the interviewer said something and his answer was amazing. I know, he has such, like, deep down, like, at his core, he's just such, like, a warm-hearted person. And it really, I just want the best for him. Because, like, on the outside, he seems really goofy and, like, kind of all over the place. But, like, he really is, like, a grounded, warm-hearted kind of person. Yep. I want to audition, but I can't because oh, no! I just got here for a few seconds. You want to end stream? Yeah, because I've been live for almost 2 hours. Hi, hello. Hello, welcome back. Or are you new? I'm sorry. They asked if he wanted to have kids, and he said that depends on my wife. Yes, that was actually the most ideal answer I have ever heard from any man ever. Bro, I added it to my list of things that a man has to say for me to fall in love. Nice to meet you, I'm Chinese. Nice to meet you. Yeah, no, that was such like a good answer. And I know it's like, that's an answer that almost feels like it should be a bare minimum answer. Of like, if you want to have kids, it's like, well, it depends on my wife. Does my wife want to have kids? You know? I really, really love that answer. Can I ask you something? What K-pop band do you like? For me is Idol, NewJeans, and iKON. What about you? Mine is ONEUS. I really, really like ONEUS. Like, when he said that, I cried, and I was like, please get him a girlfriend, please. Please send him his wife, please. I would love if my husband said that. But also, this is a conversation, too, that, like, you start dating somebody for a long time, you start, like, you need to start having these, like, long-term conversations about these, like, what's the word? About those kinds of topics. But, like, for me, it's like, I already know I kind of want kids. So, I would just have to find somebody who also wants kids. If I could audition, I would do it. Could maybe bump into Stray. Yeah, true. What song do you like from that band? Well, they just had a new song. It's called X. And I really like that song. What? Huh? Okay, team. 5 more minutes of stream and I will end for the night. Can you believe I've just been yapping for 2 hours? How does bro yap for so long? When he said that, all the pain comes for her giving birth, and if she doesn't want kids, I don't care, because it's her choice, and I'll accept it. That's valid. I mean, I think he's allowed to have an opinion too, though. Like, that should really go into... Like, if he really, really wants kids, I think he'll find a wife who wants kids. Is that really brown hair? Are you coloring it? It's my real brown hair. What are you talking about? This grows, like, naturally from my head. Heavenly Soho podcast. That is so true. I probably could. Wouldn't that be funny though? A podcast. What would I talk about for an hour every week? Was your old group? What us? His mother raised him so right, I swear. I know. I love. Oh my god, I love when you can. Still a bare minimum, but like I still really love it when a guy just really loves and respects his mom, or even just women. Well, women in general, but the women in his life. When like you can just tell that like all of the love and support they have for the women in their life is just so grand. It's like, you're gonna be such a good husband. Oh, Nasir. Oh, I'm so freaking Delulu. Is this an emotional chat room? No, we're talking about relationships. We're talking about relationships and crushes and all of this stuff. I thought you're coloring your hair. Why would you think that? Now, what would make you think that? He's my alt bias for a reason. My other bias is Bam Bam. Oh, period. Period. What is going... Okay. I just messed up everything. Everything that I worked so hard for is messed up. See, it's because I try to do this like wacky thing with my hair and it's like... It did not work out. Okay. Alright, yeah. Let me just do this and then bring this back over here. And then like this. The light on your back makes me think you're coloring your hair. Oh, so if I turn it off? If I turn it off... Oh. It's all this lighting from my computers. Maybe I'll turn it like this and then turn it. Try like this for the last few minutes of stream. It's just such white lighting. I'm not a huge fan. I don't care if the fandom will be mad about Jackson dating someday. He needs a lover. No, he does. I don't think they'll even be mad. Matter of fact, I think we'll all rejoice when Jackson finally gets married. We will rejoice. Honestly, my favorite thing is seeing my favorite K-pop idols get into like, I should say happy relationships. Because I know in the case of like EXO, some of them had not so great relationships. But I would love the day when like the EXO members start getting married. They start having families. I'm gonna be like, bro, that's so exciting. Even for ONEUS, I think I'm like more curious to see like the kind of people they choose to spend their lives with. Like it would just be a really interesting dynamic to see like what they decided to choose in like a partner, a future partner. I'm excited for the day. I cannot wait. May I ask where you're from? From Indonesia. I'm from the US. I gotta go to sleep because school's tomorrow, and another excuse is I want to make a Wattpad series. You do that. Thank you so much for hanging out today. Hope you had a good day, and I hope you have a good day tomorrow. He's 31. Oh my god. That's not that bad. What time is it? For me, it's 11:30 p.m. I feel like Lito would be a girl dad. Yes. I'm actually so convinced. I'm so convinced Lito's gonna have like 2 or 3 daughters. I feel like all the kids he has are gonna be daughters. I can sense it. I'll be like 40 years old or something, right? Because he'll be like 40. I understand. Okay, I really, really understand the way that idol careers progress. But I also really hope that we're not like ONEUS is not like 45 and they're like not married and they like don't have kids. I think I could see it for a couple members. I understand. But like there are some members that I know want to get married. You can just tell that they like want to like be married, have kids and all this stuff. And I hope to God that like they're not 45 years old and like they still don't have a wife, they still don't have kids. I'm gonna be like, what were we doing for the last 10 years? Hello? Like I hope when we're 45 that like at least 3 of the members have happy marriages. And maybe some of them have kids. That would be great. That would be awesome. Are you from LA? No. When will you be live? I might be live tomorrow. I'm not busy tomorrow. I am busy this weekend, but not tomorrow. I feel like Lito would not say no to his daughters if they ask him to dress up. Yeah, Lito is so... as scary as he looks on the outside, he's like so soft-hearted. He's such a soft-hearted and sensitive person. I think it's the most adorable thing. It's actually really cute. As a concept that he looks really intimidating on the outside and just looks super scary, but that he's like just totally not. Like he's really not. Even though when he like tries to act all tough, you can just see straight through it that it's like clearly a joke. And so I think, yeah, in the case like he has daughters, like he's probably gonna complain. He's gonna be like, ugh, but then he's gonna just happily do it. Like he's just gonna do it. Like he's gonna be a girl dad for sure. What the meaning of my tattoo? Does it have a meaning or a reason for you? Not really. It's kind of just like I've always wanted to have like a flower. I will say this wasn't the design I really wanted, but I had to just go with it. The moon represents ONEUS. The flowers is like I just thought they were pretty and cute. And then I've always wanted to have this phrase. It says love yourself. I know it's backwards, but it says love yourself, but it's because it's a phrase that I struggled with like really like a lot growing up. And I just wanted to have it to like remind myself so that eventually when I got to the point when I did really appreciate myself and like wasn't so mean to myself, that I could look at it and like really remember. But also I wanted people to be like every time they see it that they would think of it too. It'd be like a nice reminder. How are you? I'm good. I look at other idol groups playing with kids in videos and I was like, just be a father already. I know some people are so good at it. He's a gentle guy. He is. He really is. He scares me personally for a bunch of different reasons, but at the end of the day, he is just a soft-hearted and gentle guy. Sorry if my English is bad. No, it's okay. It's okay. I think the flower meaning for my what? Or your boys in the moon means how beautiful you are. Well, the moon is actually for ONEUS. Sorry. What band is Elastic behind? Oh, this is from ONEUS. Yeah. What would Xion be like as a father? Okay. Let me answer seriously. Xion, I don't know. I'm gonna be super honest with you. I don't think Xion would have kids. Like, he doesn't seem like the type that would have kids of his own, but that he would be really, really good at being like, the term I'm using is like an uncle. Like, he would be like just a really good uncle to like some of the members' kids, you know? Because I do think they're like 2 for sure, 3 maybe members of ONEUS would have kids. So I think Shion would more just be like, you know, he wouldn't have any of his own, but he would definitely really take care of the kids that like the members have. I was thinking the same thing too, right? Doesn't it just you can just see it. Like you look at Shion and you're like, yeah, no. He's not gonna have his own kids, but he's definitely gonna be a fun uncle, okay? What K-pop band is that Lightstick? Oh, this is ONEUS. This is the ONEUS Lightstick. My favorite group in the entire world. Kunhee would also play Tea Party with his daughters. Yes! Kunhee would be a really good, he'd actually be a really adorable girl dad. I cannot wait for the day. I can't wait for the day Kunhee has a daughter. But I also think he would have a son. Yeah. I don't know. People tend to have kids really similar to how their parents had kids. In the same fashion, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to think about, like, my grandma. My grandma has a lot of sisters and only a couple of brothers, but she ended up having all boys, so she didn't have any daughters, which is why she spoils her granddaughters a lot. On my mom's, I don't know. I was trying to think about the dynamic, because Kunhee has 2 sisters and he's like the only son. So I'm thinking like he would at least have a son and a daughter because he also has sisters. I don't know. I could definitely see him with a daughter though. With the son? A son I could see, I just don't know if it would be. I don't know. Whatever fate puts what gender of kids, I guess it could be boy, girl, or both. That's true. So Kunhee would have both a son and a daughter. I think so. I don't know if you're taking this the wrong way, but I think you look a lot like Lisa from Blackpink. That's what everyone says that. It's so weird. It's like so strange. Thank you. But I do hear it a lot. It's kind of strange. What can I call you? Or my wife. Yeah, you can call me. No, don't call me Soho. I miss Soho. I miss Soho. Soho, come back. Soho, come back, please. You kind of look like her. That's what doesn't. Everyone says that, and it makes me nervous because I'm scared people are gonna say that, and then they're gonna be like, Soho's wife. Oh, you kind of look like Soho's wife. Thank you so much. Yeah, anyways. No, sometimes I think about it though. Like, I'm actually really excited for the day ONEUS finally, they can finally like kind of not focus on their idol life. They can really focus on starting to build like their own personal lives. They start getting married. They start getting like having kids and a family and just living life and whatever. I'm so excited. Anyways, I said I was gonna end 5 minutes ago and I went over entirely. So, before I start yapping even more, I am going to end the stream here for tonight. Who would sing their children to sleep in ONEUS? Soho. Soho would do it every single day because he just like he would even do it in the daytime. He would just sing and sing and sing, but it'd be okay because he has such a pretty voice. Maybe Lido, if they asked, they'd be like, can you sing me something to sleep? And he probably would. Anyways, I need to stop yapping. So I'm going to end the stream here for tonight. Like I said, I most likely will stream tomorrow because I'm not doing anything tomorrow, and tomorrow's Friday. So hopefully I will see you guys all tomorrow. So until then, I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I hope you have a good day tomorrow, or you're having a good day right now, or you had a good day today. And I will see you all tomorrow. All right, bye everyone. Thanks for hanging out today, and I hope you have a good night and good sleeps and good dreams and everything else. Okay, bye.